Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Stevens back again for another day of learning in your home. Today is a special day because there's a reason I am wearing yellow. Wonder why? Well, I'm going to give you a few clues by starting out with some jokes. Now, if you listen to Mr. Crawford on the morning announcements on our YouTube channel, he will sometimes throw in a few jokes. And that kind of gave me an idea. I think I'll start my lesson with something that's funny because my lesson might not be so funny for some of you. So here are my jokes. I only have two of them, so be patient. Okay, you ready for the first one? What do bees chew? What do bees chew? No, not broccoli. They chew bumble gum. Get it? Bumble gum, bubble gum. Okay, well, maybe that wasn't the best one, but I have another one just in case you didn't like that one. How do bees get to school? Not fly. On the school buzz. Did you get that one? On the school buzz, school bus? Okay, well, I tried. Anyway, you probably guessed that today we're talking about bees, and that's why I'm wearing yellow. So I want you to be a good listener. And as we talk about bees, I'm going to be switching to some screens. Of course, I always do that. So we are going to switch to that, and we will get started on our lesson for today. Okay, so here we go. All right, be patient, right? All right, woo, what's that coming on? Bees, bees, bees. And that bee is being a good student and reading a book. And I hope you're doing some reading while you're home. And maybe when we're all done with this lesson, you can be a good student and pick some books off of our Epic website or our bookshelf website. Okay, here we go. Ooh. There are three types of bees. Worker bee is one of them, okay? The worker bee cleans the hive, feeds the babies and the queen, builds honeycombs, guards the hive, and collects pollen and nectar. All right, so now I wonder if you're like a worker bee. Do you clean your room? I hope so. And you probably feed yourself, or if you have a pet, you feed your pet. Or if you have a baby brother or sister, you might help mom and dad and feed your baby brother or sister. You might not build honeycombs, but maybe you're building something out of Lego. Okay, so one of the types of bees is a worker bee. And I want you to think, are you like a worker bee? Comes the next one. The second kind of bee is called a drone. Now, a drone does not have a stinger, and it does not gather nectar or pollen, but he eats a lot. Do you eat a lot? I don't know. Sometimes when we're home like this, we might eat more than we are used to. And if you remember from the very hungry caterpillar story last week, that caterpillar ate a lot of food and had a tummy ache because he ate too much. I wonder if the drone would be like the caterpillar and eat too much. The third kind of bee is a queen bee. This is the largest bee in the colony, and the queen bee lays the eggs. Now, a colony is a group of bees, okay? And here on the screen, you can see the queen bee is the first one, okay, right here. And then we have the drone. Do you remember what a drone does? And then we have the worker bee, okay? So I want you to think, which bee are you, okay? Do you eat a lot? Do you clean your room? Are you the largest child in your house? Maybe you're the queen bee. All right. So as we go to our next screen, I want you to listen carefully. Now, when Mr. Crawford does the morning announcements, he often has said, the 3 things that you need to do at Eastview. And just like the bees, each bee has a job. And I want you to think, what is your job? Do you remember what Mr. Crawford says? He says you are to be safe, you are to be responsible, and you are to be respectful. And even though we are not in the Eastview building, I am hoping that you are still following these rules at home. All right, comes our next slide. Okay, now if you remember, on Monday we did a poem about spiders. Okay, well, this is a poem about bees, and it involves a little bit of math. Okay, so I want to see what you have learned from Miss Martin and Mrs. Knight, and on Fridays, Mrs. Chudy brings you math. All right, so you're going to make a fist, and that's going to be your beehive. So here is a beehive. Where are the bees? All right, so clench your fist, and you're going to bring out 1 finger at a time, hiding away where nobody sees. Watch them come creeping out of their hives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Buzz, buzz, buzz. All right. So again, you can go back to that slide and you can look for maybe some of our power words. I see some 2G power words in that poem. Practicing your counting. And then if you have the 5 bees out, then maybe they go back into their hive, right? 4, 3, 2, 1, none. All right. All right, so that brings us to our next slide, which involves your journal writing, okay? Now, as your journal writing activity for today, I would like you to list 5 jobs that you have at home, just like the 5 bees that came out of the hive. Well, if you don't have any jobs at home, ask your parents if you could have some, okay? There's lots of things you can do around the house to help, okay? You've always helped Mrs. Stevens in the classroom, and you can do some of those same things at home. So this is what your journal page could look like, a little different from what we've done before, okay? You're actually going to make a list, okay? So you can write the 5 jobs I have at home are, it might be something inside your house, it might be something in your yard, okay? So think of what your responsibilities are around the house, and I'd like you to list them, okay? And then just like you do with all of your journal writing, after you list the 5 jobs you have, I'd like you to draw a picture, okay? Now, when you go to do your writing, okay, I want you to remember the 5 rules when you're writing and when you're illustrating, okay? Now listen for the clue word. Be sure to use a capital letter in the beginning of your sentence. Be sure to use finger spaces, okay? 2 finger spaces is probably a good idea. Be sure to use punctuation. Be sure to use detail in your drawing. And be sure that your illustration matches your writing, okay? So again, just like I asked with the recycling and Earth Day activities and with the insects and the spiders and the butterflies, the same thing with this. I'm going to ask that when you think about what job you have and you write your list and you write your sentences, okay, so this time you're going to write 5 different things. And then with your drawing, again, ask your parents, maybe they can take a picture of it, send it to your teacher, and then your teacher will pass it along to me, and I will make a slideshow of all the great writing and pictures that I've gotten, okay? So I look forward to that, and I hope you learned a lot about bees. And what I'm gonna do is stop that screen, okay, and bring you back to me. And it was a short little lesson today, but I'm sure that you've learned a lot about bees, okay? Bees are insects, flying insects, and I want you to remember what insects have. So when you're drawing your picture, okay, and you're drawing the picture of the insect from last week, if you're still working on that, or if you're drawing your spider, if you're still working on that from Monday, or when you go to do your journal writing today and you're writing the 5 jobs that you have. I want you to think of the rules of writing and of drawing. Don't forget to put in those details, okay? And if you're 6 years old, I'd like you to use 6 different colors in your picture, okay? So I'm look forward to getting some of that writing and those pictures. Send them on to your teacher. She will send them to me, and I will post them on our channel, okay? So thanks for coming today, boys and girls. Be good. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.